Welcome back to my channel, you guys. My name is Kat, and today we're gonna do a talking video, y'all. If you've seen a number of videos ago, I was talking about wanting to incorporate more talking videos onto my channel and not knowing where to start, and it kind of became clear to me through you guys' comments and responses and encouragement, the first thing that I really wanted to touch on, which is anxiety. And it actually directly relates to talking videos because I get a lot of anxiety about talking videos, but that kind of led me to what I should talk about initially, which is anxiety. So Rosa, you had said something in one of my last videos, and you were talking about sitting in your car and breaking down in tears and having to really like ground yourself and focus. And you were talking about listening to the birds chirping, like focusing on something that calms you. And as I was reading your comment, it is so ironic because I actually did a talking video about anxiety when I first started my channel. This was a couple of years ago, and I never posted it because of anxiety and just me overthinking things. But in this video, I was basically doing a mini story time, and that situation came back up for me when I was reading your comment. So I just wanted to do this story time now because I feel like it will shed a lot of light. So I'm going to the gas station, literally just the gas station right around the corner from my house. I always go there. I'm already struggling about the idea of going inside when I'm at the light and I can see the gas station. So I get into the gas station. As I'm pulling in, I'm pep talking myself, like, you finna go in here, we're gonna just deal with this. So I get out the car, I go in the store. I get in the store, I walk to the back of the store, I'm getting juice, snacks or whatever. When I turn to walk to the front of the store, I see that there is, I think, 4 people in line, and then there's a guy at the register checking out the people. So I immediately go into panic mode. I'm getting sweaty, I am clenching my jaw, I'm holding my breath. I get this thing where you might not be able to see it unless it gets really bad, but I can feel shakes, like I get the shakes. And I'm wanting to walk out at this point, but I'm like, no, you're gonna do this. So I get in line. I'm in line, I'm having to wait because there's 4 people in front of me. So now more people start coming in, and they just so happen to be more men. They stand right behind me. When there's people behind you, like even if you didn't see them get behind you, but you can feel when someone is behind you, like I can feel them looking at me. And I'm like, I wanted to look back, but I didn't want to look back. I'm like, no, that's stupid. And I'm wanting to leave, and it's just this back and forth thing. So I get to the register. The man takes my stuff, he's ringing me up. I get my money out, I'm going to hand the man my money, and y'all, my hand is going like this, and this man looks at my hand and looks at me, and his face is like, and I'm thinking, these are literally my thoughts, Kat, just walk out, you don't have to do this, just walk out. And then my next thought are, no, you're gonna do this. That, like, literally me battling my anxiety and the embarrassment of my anxiety. So I end up, needless to say, he takes the money, we handle this, whatever. I get in the car. As soon as I get in the car, I break down crying. I just completely break down, and I calm myself. I Rosa, like you said, I center myself, and I literally will have conversations with myself. I sat there and I had this conversation with myself in my head, and I really was like, what is going on and how do we deal with this? And the first thing that I realized was I was more concerned with how I look to people and how people see me than my own mental health, than my own well-being. And that, even though I was thinking these other things, I was having anxiety, I was focusing on that, always at the forefront was how people were viewing me. And no matter what else thought process that came through or whatever else I was dealing with, that always cut into the front. Like if it was a line, that person always cut in the front of the line. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest thing I will say that I personally feel like has affected and kind of grown that shame and embarrassment is my surroundings, the people in my surroundings. And it's very unfortunate because either one, it's people that just simply do not understand. They literally just don't understand. And in the very beginning, I would be very frustrated and oftentimes angry at people that don't understand, until I really realized, how can you get angry at someone that just simply doesn't understand? And I also learned to be happy that some people don't understand, because it means that they didn't go through terrible things. And I'm grateful for that. I don't wish that upon anyone. And then there also, and there are going to be people that just simply don't care. There are going to be people that do not care, and those are the obvious people to not be around. And then there are also going to be people that do understand because they're going through it themselves, but they might not be in a place to be able to assist us because they're struggling themselves. And I think that those situations can very easily become toxic situations where you would think in your mind, and I've gone through this myself, where you think because we have been through similar experiences and we can relate, that we're able to help each other. I think it's a beautiful thought, but there are often times where two people in that situation that are still very much healing and trying to figure out all these things can really be damaging to each other. And I think that's just not always, but it can happen often. And I think it's just something to be aware of and to consider, and just make sure that you're evaluating that when it comes to those situations, and just really being honest with yourself and asking the other person to be honest with themselves, because sometimes we love each other and we really want to help each other, and part of loving each other is making those hard decisions that maybe I'm not in the healthiest place right now, maybe we are not helping each other, we're only exacerbating our own issues, each other's issues, through us trying to figure all this stuff out. You know what I'm saying? That's what love is to me. It's not always rainbows and sunshine and happiness and all of these things. Sometimes it's really hard. It's making hard decisions. It's being really honest with ourselves and with each other and what's really best for each other. And sometimes being around one another and trying to help one another might not be the best thing. Sometimes helping each other is allowing each other to go on that journey that we need to by ourselves. Sometimes that's necessary, as hard as it may be. And I've said this many times before, but oftentimes the right thing is literally the hard thing. And it's very unfortunate and freaking frustrating, but oftentimes it is. And then the other thing is circling back to people that just simply don't understand. And, sometimes those people will get very frustrated with us. Sometimes those people will say things to us because they really are genuinely trying to help, but those things that they say or do make us feel worse or make us worse. And I think that as frustrating as it is to have to teach someone what we're going through and how we feel and what we need, that if we really are wanting someone to be able to be that for us, it is our responsibility to assist that person and help that person in that process. Now, if you're doing that or you decide to do that, pay attention, because sometimes you will see, and not all the times, but sometimes you will see through that person's actions that they are actually in the category of people that just simply don't care. They will show you through their effort and through their words, through their actions. And y'all, this is a thing where if it's someone that doesn't care, they're not going to just blatantly tell you, I don't give a, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to make that decision on your own. This is where you have to trust your instincts. And I know it's really hard when you've been through a lot of stuff to do that, but your gut, your instinct will tell you what's right, and it is up to you to listen to that. And my rule of thumb is, when you're feeling shitty and you're feeling bad already and the people around you are making you feel worse, that is not healthy. Now, this can be up to perspective, because there are times when we can get a trigger. There are times when someone might have done something that they didn't know, for example, was a trigger for us, and it made us feel worse. It made us feel angry. It made us feel, have a flashback of something traumatic we went through. Now, that is not someone intentionally harming us, but that is where it's going to be up to us to really evaluate and be honest with ourselves on, is this person really trying? Is this person someone that's healthy? But that is a huge, vital piece of healing, is having people around us that will not build upon that shame, that will not add onto that shame, that will not treat us differently or make us feel differently. They will make us feel comfortable. They will be patient with us. I've had a lot of situations where I want, because I go out sometimes. I love people. I like having fun. I show my emotional side, and yes, I cry and I'm sad and I go through stuff, but I'm also a really fun person, and I'm goofy. I didn't even know that for a long time, but I'm a goofy person. Like, I'm funny. I like to have fun, but I have to do it in a way that is comfortable for me. And when I say comfortable, it's important to push your comfort zones. Yes, that is a huge part of healing, and it's a huge part of dealing with your anxiety, is pushing those comfort zones. But there's a way to do that. There's a way to do that where you're pushing yourself, you're setting goals for yourself, but you're also being patient and graceful with yourself. You have to do that simultaneously both at the same time. And I really wanted to share this image with you guys because it's something I look at very often when I'm feeling down and discouraged, when I feel like I haven't done enough or I'm not doing enough. This really helps me put things into perspective, because there is no elevator to healing and to this journey. Is literally a step-by-step process, and I always remind myself to take one day at a time and one step at a time. So set those goals, push those comfort zones, but don't do it to where it's actually causing you more harm than good. Do it at your pace. Be patient and graceful with yourself, and the people around you should be doing the same. If they're not healthy. And even if it's people that just simply are trying and don't understand, and you've tried to work with them, you've taken the responsibility, like I said, to try to explain, and you see that that's not working, you might just need to take space from them during this time. And it might be a while, it might be a long while, but if that is what you need, that is the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do for you and for the other people that are involved. And I do want to do a whole separate video where I talk more specifically about actual symptoms and anxiety. But I do think that shame and embarrassment is really going to stop us so much from actually dealing with the root of what's really going on. This is a layered thing. It's like an onion, I think about it, and we have to peel back those layers. And that shame and embarrassment is one of the top layers, I think, of all of these things. And that is the first thing that I feel like we need to focus on, is allowing ourselves to be where we are, allowing ourselves to be, I'm not okay, and not feel embarrassed about that. There is literally nothing wrong with not being okay. Now, is there something wrong with staying not okay? Yes, because you deserve to be okay. You deserve to be more than okay. You know, you deserve to be happy and have peace and love and joy in your life. But is it okay to not be okay? Yes. Is it okay to cry? Yes. Is it okay to have anxiety? Yes, it is. These things are literally normal. Through studying PTSD, anxiety, trauma, all these things are things I had to learn in time. But anxiety, like PTSD, these things are literally our body's and mind reaction to trauma. It is a defense mechanism. It's literally your body's defense mechanism. Being hyper aware, paying attention to your surroundings, it's there for a reason. But when you go through really extreme trauma or repeated trauma, that system is on high alert. And it leaves us in this position where it is now up to us to figure out how to retrain that system and reprogram that system in a way that is still helpful to us, because again, it's there for a reason. You want to be aware, you want to be, so there's nothing wrong with you. These things are literally a part of life. It's a part of the natural system of your body reacting to things, and it's going to take time. It will take time, but I know in time that we can figure this out, and we can conquer these things and be able to use them in a way that will actually feel empowering to us. I hope that made sense, you guys, because I don't know, it's so crazy, y'all. I literally just see all of these things in my head, and it's so crazy that I wish that I was able to see this stuff before, like when I was younger, and I was just struggling so much, and I wish I had that knowledge. And this is literally the reason why I started my channel, because I saw this quote one time, and it was saying, be the person that you needed when you were younger. This is why I'm started my channel. This is literally why I started my channel. And if I can make a difference just for one person, that's enough for me. So I just appreciate you guys listening, and I hope that this makes a difference. And if you have any thoughts and questions, and like you want to share and you feel comfortable sharing, please do, you guys, because this isn't for me, this is for all of us. And I really hope that we can just come together and help each other, you guys, because we all deserve to be happy. We all deserve to be happy, to have peace and love in our lives. And I've just seen way too many people that do not have that, and that's not okay. So yeah, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all so much, and I'll be back to talk to y'all again soon.